Hey everyone, this video we're going to be looking at how to draw vectors properly from the last quiz. So this last quiz we had to draw two vectors. The first was one that was going 48.5 kilometers west, 24 north, and the second would be a continuation of the trip, 32.5 kilometers north, 32 east. So we have to figure out where to begin to draw these. We have to plan things out a little bit. So for the first one, we're going kind of northwest in this direction, and then we're going northeast. So I'm thinking maybe starting somewhere in this quadrant over here would be good. So I'm just going to start down here as my origin. And then I'm going to be drawing my first vector. So remember, when you're drawing vectors, you want to use an appropriate scale. So my scale is going to be 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometers in real life. I'm also going to include my compass scale. Never eat shredded wheat, north, east, south, west. So keep that in mind as well. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to draw the vector. So the first one, so I have to draw the angle of the vector first. So to do that, I'm going to be measuring from the west over to the north. So west is going to be 0, I'm going up this way. So I put my protractor down here like so. Here we go. And remember, I'm going to be measuring my angle over west to the north at 24 degrees. So it's going to be right around here. I think it's around 24 degrees. I have a thick marker, so you can see how this works out. And now that I have that drawn out, I want to draw my vector to scale. So I have to draw my vector, and it has to be 4.85 centimeters long according to my scale. So I'm going to go over here. So 4.85 is right around there. And I'm going to draw my first vector. So the arrow for the vector with the tip altogether should be 4.85 centimeters long. Okay? I think mine's just a little bit longer. I'm going to have a thicker marker. So it really should be over here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label this vector. So it's going to be my first displacement. And this one is going to be going 48.5 kilometers. You just basically label what we have up here. West, 24 degrees north. Okay, what did we do next? Then we continued our trip. I then went 32.5 north, 32 east. So I'm going to be measuring my angle now from the last point. I'm going to go just over here. And we're going to be going north. So my compass point 0 is right at north, over to the east, 32 degrees. So something like that. And the length of the line is going to be 3.25 centimeters. So let me go like this, a little bit lower. And again, I'm using thicker markers, so I made a little bit of a mistake here. Sorry about that. And I'm going to draw my line just a little bit below. So 3.25 as close as I can. And I'm going to label this as well. This is my second vector. Make sure you label it nicely. 32.5 kilometers north, 32 degrees to the east. Okay, remember we measured this way. So all that's left now is to draw my resultant vector. So to do that, what we're going to do, we're going to draw a line from the beginning of the trip, which is over here, my initial position, to the final position over here. So let's draw a nice straight line. Here we go. Okay. And again, it's a thick marker, but hopefully it'll be okay. And this is my resultant displacement. So let's look at the size of my resultant displacement. So my resultant displacement here looks like it's around 5.4 centimeters in length. So that means it's 54 kilometers in size. It's pretty good. And my angle right now is, okay, and the angle looks like, if I'm measuring it from the west over here, so this way, it's going to be 60 degrees. So if it's this way, and remember, I have to measure it from the compass point. So here, I'd be measuring from the west. I had 60 degrees over to the north. So west, 60 degrees this way. If I measured it the other way, I would end up with an angle of 30 degrees. You can see that here. So the other way of writing this, if I measure the other way, would be north, 30 degrees to the west. Both of them are perfectly fine. Okay, so it just depends on which way you're measuring from what compass point. But you always have to be measuring from a compass point. A mistake that students often make, they measure this interior angle. You do that in math, not here, not in vectors. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully you did well on the quiz.